What's going on, everyone?
What's happening?
It is
Yes,
Sunday.
It is.
Thrill Key.
We are recovering from the Southern Heritage Classic
Tsunami.
right. The Southern Heritage Classic Tsunami. I'm Michael Suggs. To my right is Mr. Tracy Davis.
How's everybody doing?
To my left is Mr. John Corns.
Salutations, people. Happy Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And to my far left is the one, the only T. Reezy.
That's right.
Terrell Key.
The one and only. The only one. I have my props just in case people didn't understand what was happening. I have my Jackson State University hat on the table. Okay, I'm sorry. That's off topic.
That's a different subject.
That's a different subject.
Totally different subject.
All right, let's get into it. So we are here for our podcast. We want to thank you all for tuning in, for listening to us, and we are about to go ahead and jump right into it. Before we jump right into it, this podcast is brought to you in part by John Corns Affiliate Real Estate. Did I say
Right. John Corns Affiliate Real Estate Broker.
Bam. That's what it
go.
is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yes,
So we are here. We're about to jump right into it. We got John Corns. John Corns is our special guest for this lovely afternoon. And we're just going to jump right into it, Mr. John Corns. So if you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell everybody about what you have going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, again, thank you guys for having me. I'm a big fan of the TaKeOver. Again, John Corns, real estate broker, licensed in Tennessee and Mississippi, but able to do real estate throughout the United States, especially commercial throughout the United States. Residential, focused on Tennessee and Mississippi, but nationally, commercially.
Okay, good deal. So, John, so tell us a little bit about the history of how you got into real estate and your motivations and all that.
It's really interesting, man. I'm from Binghamton, Tennessee, right?
Okay.
My grandfather.
That's like a city in Memphis.
Right. We call it a city, you know. Right. Binghamton, 38112, BBB for everybody out there, who really from Binghamton. But my grandfather moved from Fayette County down to Binghamton, purchased 5 houses, moved the family down there. And he would always used to tell us that he's going to build the houses to the grandkids. Okay. But over time, we didn't know anything about real estate and how to maintain a house, taxes and everything. And they got lost in a tax sale. And if you drive through so many of our communities, you see vacant lots here and there, just like everywhere. You'll see a driveway, but no house, right? So as a result, people would lose houses primarily due to tax sales or dilapidation. So one of my motivating causes for getting into real estate was to help us people, maintain the houses, get educated about real estate and houses and how to keep them, in our families. So that was the first main reason for me getting into real estate. Okay.
So like a generational type of thing,
right?
And these are things that you've learned by actually seeing. Right. Firsthand.
Right. Exactly. Living. I mean, and I'm sure at that time he was probably one of the few black men to own multiple homes, in that community. So that really motivated me.
Okay. So bring it to 2018. What's going on? What's the stuff that you see? The stuff that you when you have customers or potential customers that come to you, why John Corns? Why?
Well, I've been licensed again since 2007. I started off with a small boutique firm, moved to a larger firm, national firm. It had a lot of technology. And now I'm with Jasco Realtors. A lot of technology. I got a real estate app, website, automatically pushes stuff out. And really the motivating factor now is Memphis is #1 for rental properties. Okay. We've been top 5 for rental properties in a long time. That means that there are more people who don't own homes, but they rent homes. And a lot of times when you rent a home, it's more costly than owning a home.
Really?
Right, yeah. So for example, let's say you got a $100,000 house. The rent may be $1,000 or $1,100 a month, typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath. But that same house can be $700 if you own it. Even with, then you get tax breaks. So, I want to help, people own their own home, save some money, and again pass on their generational wealth.
Right. Okay. That's good info. So I wake up one day and I say, I want to purchase a home.
Mm-hmm.
And I call John Corns. What's your next move once we've established some type of rapport or anything along those lines?
Right. The first thing you want to do is know what your buying power is.
Okay.
Know what programs you qualify for, because every financial situation is different. Like, Terrell may make, $500,000 a year, and he making, purchase a $1 million home with a conventional loan. Then you got somebody, who may make the same amount, but due to their credit status, they might not can purchase the same home. Right. So everybody credit profile and buying power is going to be different. So always start with getting pre-qualified with the lender. Know what your buying power is. If you're a first-time buyer, you may want to try to qualify for first-time buyer programs. There are several kinds out there. So you want to know what you qualify for and what your buying power is. And then from there, we can then develop your criteria. What type of house that you want? What's on your wish list? Where does that house reside? And that's the second step.
Okay. And do you help with that, or is that something that I need to just go on my own?
No, absolutely. I work with numerous lenders here in the Memphis area.
Okay.
Some of the lenders may start off at a 580 credit score. Some are even lower. There are some lenders out there that don't even use a credit score. So a lot of people don't realize that. Like I met with a client 2 weeks ago. He found me on Facebook, right? He's like, yeah, man, I like the information you put out there. We just didn't know where to start. And him and his wife had both a 640 credit score, but they didn't know that they can buy a house with that. And I'm like, yeah, you can start off at a 580 credit score and buy, a house under your traditional credit programs,
Okay.
Right. So it's about, getting the information to the people who need it first.
Right.
That's some. I just learned something, Mike Tracy. Something. The word that you used, you said buying power, and that stood out to me, because to me that sounds like, okay, here is a phrase or a term that you use that you can actually take to the bank. You say, hey, look, I have the buying power to get this, or I have the buying power to get that.
Right.
And I think that what you just said, that's education to me, because I never looked at it like that. I always looked at it like, okay, well, if I don't make a certain amount of money, I can't buy a house,
Right.
Or if my credit score is not good because of credit cards in the past, then I can't buy a house. So let me just settle on something other than the house. So that's some good knowledge. I'm glad that you shared that, because that right there could help somebody that may be interested or wanting to purchase a home, knowing that they have what you call buying power. So
Exactly.
that's actually good information.
Yeah.
I learned something today. I might want to go out and buy me another house just because I may have buying power. I don't know I got.
Exactly.
And to your point, Terrell, now I think you were kind of halfway tripping, but to purchase another home as an investment, that's something that you speak of a lot too, right?
Right, exactly. You have a lot of investors here in Memphis, meaning people who buy homes that don't reside in them as owner occupants. The old trend was we had investors from like California, Florida, New York, but now, again, Memphis. I was mentioning this earlier. Memphis is number one in the United States in the rental market.
Interesting.
So you got people from Australia buying houses here just to collect rent. You got people from London buying houses here just to collect rent. Canada. I have Canadian clients. They buy here in Memphis, because it's a good rental market. So if you currently own a home here in Memphis and you want to buy a second home, then more than likely it would be a conventional loan. So that means you'll have to bring 20% to the table in equity. So if a home costs $100,000 that you want to buy, you're going to have to bring $20,000 cash as equity for that, second property.
Gotcha. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's some great information, so I don't want to get too far off. So my thought process is, I'm very interested in Airbnbs. Like, I've gone out of town a few places. Like, we just went to Chicago with some buddies of mine, and we stayed in an Airbnb. It was in a nice neighborhood, nice home. It was like 3 stories. They had like pull-out couches and beds and sofas and stuff. And so I was thinking to myself, man, somebody owns this home. They probably only live here on the weekends, or they just probably got it set up so it look really homey like, and they are renting this out for people for just a weekend. You know, and I was thinking, man, I would love to be able to have me an Airbnb downtown. You know, nice 2-bedroom spot, or maybe a studio apartment or a studio condo, and rent it out. I would never stay there, or I would only go down for Memphis in May, or Hot Wing Fest or something. You know, something to where I say, okay, I want to go down here and just enjoy it, so I won't have to drive back home late at night. So you got me thinking, man, purchasing some property, a second home, that conventional loan, so that's going to stick with me. So I just learned something today. So be on the lookout. Maybe calling you soon. Hey, brother, John Coyne, remember we were on the air and we were talking about loans and conventional loans? I think I'm ready.
I mean, look, the Airbnb market is hot right now, believe it or not.
I believe that.
Right, especially in certain parts of town. If you can buy, let's say, a $60,000 house, which don't sound like a lot, but in Memphis, you can get a lot for $60,000.
Yep.
And even if you decide to do a loan, again, a conventional loan, you put down 20%, your balance may be somewhere around $40,000, and your note on a $40,000 property is going to be $300 some, right? Including taxes and insurance, And if you rent it out $200 a night or $150 a night, you paid for it in one weekend.
Right.
Wow.
And the rest is profit, So the Airbnb market here is not large, but it's growing, and there's definitely opportunity in certain parts of town.
Gotcha.
Midtown is a good market.
Definitely.
Right.
Okay.
And before we shift gears here, you said Midtown. How often, and not are you pretty familiar with the Airbnb stuff?
A little bit.
Right.
A
little bit. And I was wondering, because I know a lot of neighborhood associations or something like that. Probably
Exactly.
That's not something that they don't like, and I've experienced that with some stuff in New Orleans and all that. So you still have to deal with your HOAs and all that type of stuff. So
exactly. I have a client right now. She's purchasing a home for her daughter, which is amazing. African American client, because I've had some clients in the past outside of our ethnic, our same race. They would give their kids $30,000-$40,000. Say, hey, go purchase this house. Yeah. And she's doing this for her daughter. So I really commend, this lady for doing that. But to your point, yeah, you have to look at the covenants and the HOA to make sure that they allow rental properties. It's more in particular in gated communities where you may see that they may not allow this property to be rented or not owner occupied. So yeah, very good point.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess there's probably ways around that in a way as well, because I know I have a friend of mine lives in the Elvis Presley area, but for her Airbnb, she actually rents out her guest house, the pool house that's been renovated.
Right.
But you're still an older occupant, and you can still benefit off of the Airbnb.
Exactly.
But I did have a quick question about real estate, just as far as when you're actually with your clients, because I often hear people say different things about their real estate agents. How often do you keep in contact with them once you're their agent, and how often should they expect something from you? Because I know some people are, probably say, I need to know something every day or every minute, and I know people want what they want when they want it, but what's to be expected with you? Right.
Very good point. Some people require a lot of communication, and I always tell people, hey, feel free to call me, text me, email me. Either way, if you call me, I stand by this. If you call me and I don't answer, leave a voicemail, and I guarantee to call you back, because stuff may I may be at the classic or something, but
can't miss the classic,
right? So it's always I try to be proactive with communication. I go over the steps from A to Z on the front end, and then I follow up with those particular steps.
Right.
So I try to be proactive with my communication. Say, hey, once we do this, these are the next 3 steps. Once we do these 2 steps, then these are the next 4 or 5 steps. So I try to be proactive, to alleviate any questions by the client. But there are always questions, because every transaction is a learning experience,
Okay.
right? And I try to teach everybody, who I come in contact with, what you're signing, why you're signing, and what it means.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So let me ask this, because like I said, I know a lot of times when we're dealing with the public and people, you kind of have to groom them to understand the process and everything. Is there a certain, like when somebody's purchasing a home, do you have a certain spiel on, well, if this house costs $300,000, how much of your income should be allotted for a home? Maybe I should ask it like that.
Mhm.
Should it be like a certain percentage of your income?
Right, but they're going to tackle that on the front end when they get pre-qualified.
Gotcha.
Because that's what the lender's going to do. He's going to look at that debt to income ratio to
Okay.
see how much they can afford and see what their buying power is. Right.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Good deal.
Right back to the buying power.
The buying power.
Buying
That's something.
power is strong. Boy. That'll make you, well, not break you, but that will make the situation what it is.
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
your buying power
Exactly.
is.
Right.
Exactly. So now, and this has been some great information and all, and we do appreciate all of that. Now, but I do. There was a topic that was okay. So we switching a little bit here now. So we get
All right.
there was a topic that was brought up by a good friend of ours, Mr. Willie Jackson.
Yeah. He
Chill.
I think he's watching
I
live
don't know,
now.
sensei.
Since
He has all this knowledge, so he's a sensei.
Cobra Kai.
It called shelter pimping.
Shelter pimping, right?
Not pimping.
Right. Shelter
And,
pimping.
and I need some clarity on the situation. I asked what it was, and basically what he was saying was that men, and I guess I don't know if this applies to women, but I guess it applies specifically to men, where they would move into a woman's house, and stay there, not married.
That's the key.
That's the key, not married.
right.
And it might only be for a certain amount of time. So this was I thought this, and so you being in real estate,
I gotta incorporate shelter pimp in some kind of way, right?
right.
So I start off with the facts. I would say 80% of my clients are single women,
Okay.
hands down. They have great buying power, and they're not 40 and 50 and whatever, they're starting off young,
Okay.
in the 20s, so I would say 80% of my clients are single women. From that, I would say maybe 15% are married couples, and then the rest are single men. Now, on the flip side, I have more single men investors
Right.
than single women investors. Although I have both, but for your owner occupant who go live in the house, I would say around 80% are single women.
Right. Wow.
I don't know what the brothers are doing, so they might be,
Ren like me.
You don't know your buying power.
No, I've owned personally 2 homes. When I was married, we purchased a home together, and then after that, I've been kind of, out here in these streets. I've done a little shelter pimping. Let me just
Just a
push
little
camera.
bit?
I've done a little shelter pimping. I got pimp in my DNA. Shelter, yeah. So I thought that was a pretty good topic. It was something fun that we talked about.
Yeah,
but I love the way that you brought up the fact that, and this is something that we talk about within our circles, because there's so many of the sisters out here, and not just the older ones, but a
lot of
but young
right.
that are
Right.
making moves, and that's not discounting the brothers.
Right.
We're not going to do that.
There are plenty of 6-figure women.
6-figure,
Right.
around
or
that you
maybe or maybe 5 that know how to
Right,
do
right,
it.
exactly.
Didn't know how to do it.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because that's an interesting fact. Do you think that that's more of there's just more women in general that are available to do that, and we're not going to get into brothers over here doing, but why do you think?
Well, I think it's twofold. One, you have some single women who have kids, and they want something stability, some a stable home for their kids. You know, they want a certain school district for their kids.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
So when you have women who have kids, they tend to want to have a house long term, so they know where their kid is going to school at, and you know, a place where they want to raise their kid. And one thing you mentioned earlier about rent versus buy, you know, pros and cons. When you buy, again, you know, generally it's cheaper, you know, to buy a house versus rent. But also, a lot of people rent because they want to move from place to place. You know, they don't want the long term commitment of a home. You know, so a lot of women think long term especially when they have kids.
Right. Okay.
You know.
Okay. Okay.
So I would think that. So you said some people don't want the long term commitment, but is it hard to get out of that long term commitment if you make that long term commitment today, and you know we talking 30 years, right? 15 years,
Right.
and
right,
you
right.
make those 2 long term commitments. So let's just say in year 4 you decide, hey, you know what, I don't like this place, I want to move, I want to go to another city or whatever. So how difficult is it to get out of that long term commitment that you've made?
Right. As a general rule of thumb, you don't really build up any equity in your home until after year 5. But it is a seller's market, meaning if I list a house, 9 times out of 10, especially in certain parts of the area, that house is going to be under contract within the first week. You know, so it's a seller's market right now. So it may not be as hard to get out of that house, you know, if you need to be.
Okay. But, and not to cut you off, Tracy.
No, you're fine.
But with it being a seller's market, once it sells, I have to buy too. Right. So I think, you know,
or move into an apartment, you know.
Right.
So I do have some clients who've done that. You know, they, you know, sold their house and they're going to move into an apartment and think about building later. You know.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Well, I was while you were talking, I was kind of thinking, do you specialize in a certain market or anything like that, or a certain area of town, or do you have specialty sections? Or I know that I hear about some real estate agents that are the experts in, let's say, downtown, midtown.
Right.
Do you have a certain specialty area that you enjoy working?
Right. No specialty area. Again, I'm licensed in the entire state of Tennessee and Mississippi. So it's just about knowing the different parts of town, knowing the different product type. For instance, let's say, you know, it's a condo. A lot of people don't know that if I have an FHA loan, I can't buy a particular condo because it's not on the FHA approved list. You know,
Okay.
And people just generally think FHA, you know, just had to be move-in ready. No, it's beyond that with the condo. Certain condo associations, they have to have a certain amount of money in their reserve in order to be on an approved list. You know, certain condos have to have more owners than renters to be on that approved list. So it's just about knowing each product type. You know, downtown is different, Cordova is different, Germantown, Collierville is different. So it's just about knowing the product type and the neighborhoods.
Gotcha. Right.
What is FHA?
FHA loan is a federal housing administrative loan backed by the federal government. Most of your first-time buyers get that loan because it only requires you to put down 3.5% on a down payment, which is relatively low, like the conventional 20%, right?
Okay.
So again, on a $100,000 house, you only have to bring $3,500 to the closing table for your loan. But secondarily, FHA, they also have a lot of first-time home buyer programs. You know, right now, if you package it with THDA, you can get up to $15,000 down payment assistance. Only thing, I've had multiple clients this year. You know, they just bring, you know, an ink pen and a smile to the closing table.
Wow.
No money.
Wow.
That's
No
it.
money.
Right.
Ink
Right.
pen and a smile.
That's
Look
it.
at
Right.
God.
Look at
Look
that.
God.
Tracy,
Wow.
you
And you
get
probably
on
have an ink pen for them there.
I got an ink pen for that.
You know what?
Right.
Hey guys, I keep a pen in my pocket,
Keep one in your pocket.
and I got teeth, and I can smile,
Right.
so I can get a house.
Right. So all this is good info. Now, all right. So we've talked a lot of real estate and all that, but let's kind of shift gears.
Okay.
here a
Before
little
we
bit.
shift gears,
Okay.
so
okay.
everybody can know, we are sitting here with Mr. John Coins with,
Jasco Realtors.
and how can the people get in contact with you or find you, sir?
Oh, absolutely. You can find me on my Facebook real estate page. Just go to Facebook. If you're live on Facebook, just search at J Corns Real Estate. It'll come up. Same thing for Instagram, at J Corns Real Estate. That's JCORNES Real Estate. Or feel free to give me a call. My cell number is 901-268-8333. 901-268-8333. John Corns.
And thank you, sir. And we will also have that information posted on our the TaKeOver page as well, just in case somebody just tuning in and they missed that actual announcement.
And a side note, he does have some great looking properties on his pages, so he's definitely a really good follow.
You looking to buy anything, Tracy?
I'm actually taking a look around. Yes, I am. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and just one more thing too. John is pretty thorough. I get updates and stuff from him pretty regularly. I've been knowing John for about 25.
Yes.
25 years.
25 years. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Fall 93.
right. So he's a great dude, and definitely someone if you are interested in purchasing a home to get that type of information from. So
man, I appreciate it.
And of course, you'll be able to see him in person since he's one of our dedicated sponsors of the TaKeOver Halloween party, October 27th. You definitely don't want to miss it. Get your costumes.
Get your costumes.
Yes. Right. And speaking of, this is the TaKeOver.
It is.
For those of y'all who might have just tuned in, this is the TaKeOver. This is one of our podcasts that we've been trying to do for the past 2 years. Is an idea that Michael Suggs came up with.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I came up with this idea. No, actually, Tracy Davis has been he's one of the instrumental players in the group. Obviously, it's just three of us. All of us have our strengths. But Tracy and his ideas, a lot of times he gives us a million ideas in like one paragraph. So this is something that he's been pushing us to do for some time, and we've done some many ones here and there. But we're really going to jump back on this thing, and we want y'all to be a part of this.
And they're still out there on iTunes and on SoundCloud,
right?
Which is where you'll be able to find this platform whenever you want to listen to it again. So we will definitely be available.
So we'll just share those links
Absolutely.
again so people can kind of go back and then be caught up.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Here.
It's been a minute. But
timing is everything. You know what?
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
All right, so peep this out.
All right, what we got?
Peep this out. So this past week, we've had a lot of stuff to happen.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things was the Fume. The 8-hour Jerry Lewis telethon. Aretha Franklin funeral. Okay, so your thoughts on it, Tracy? I mean, what did we think?
I just believe, I love the Aretha Franklin. I love the idea. A 6-hour funeral was. I just know that there was no productivity at work anywhere in the
none
whatsoever
in the country.
Yeah, I even had it on a little block on my computer just so I could just see who was stepping up. But boy, Jesse Jack. I mean, I'll let's just say some of the outfits might not have been appropriate for a funeral.
Oh, wait a minute.
But I wasn't mad.
Wait a minute. Man. Okay. We're going to talk about appropriate, inappropriate, because I didn't feel like, if we're speaking of the young lady, Miss
Ariana.
Ariana Grande looked like Bill Clinton wanted to risk it all.
Well, and he might have, but that's on him. I felt like if that was what she wanted to wear, then that's what she wore.
Well, I understand young people. I don't think that's what young people wear. I understand.
Well, I don't think it's an age thing. I think that we say come as you are and all that type of stuff. And if she wanted to wear that outfit, then she has that right to do that. Now, me personally, I would not have done it. But if she wants to do that, that's fine. Now, whether or not Jesse, and we ain't gonna leave Minister Lewis out of there too. He was up there. He was up there. He had a smile. He that's my boy. But he had a smile on his face. Bill, if they wanted to look in a certain type of way, then that part is on them. We're definitely not going to get into the Taco Bell comment because that was, I think that was a little out of order. But I'm not going to get into that because that'll be 30 minutes on that. But I've never been of the mindset that you have to do something the way that other people say it has to occur. Now, like if there was some rules and protocols that Sister Franklin had laid out at the beginning before she passed, and then there was something that came behind it that said, oh, no, we ain't going to do that because we want to do it this way. That might have been a concern. But if there weren't any rules or protocols for that.
I heard that she had it all laid out.
Right.
I heard.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Now, I heard
me.
Now, like, I heard it was all laid out as it relates to the program, but I don't think it was anything that had anything to do with what people should wear.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
I
my view. That's my view.
I was just throwing it out there because that was one of the big uproar.
That was a big uproar.
As soon as I
she
was
wrong for that.
That's the only reason I logged on, because I was like, what are they talking about?
I can't believe she had that on, and I see why Bill and Jesse and them. No, Bill and Jesse and them was gonna look regardless.
Yeah, it's just
Come
that's
on,
what they gonna do. That's
you know
what they
we
gonna
love
do.
Bill, we love Lewis, we love. Well, I don't know if people love Al now.
Yeah,
We good with Al.
Yeah,
He was good. You know, for a minute there, people didn't like it,
Man,
but we
Al
good with Al.
Sharpton is my
You know,
man.
we know we love Jesse, but you know, we men.
Right.
We gonna look. Fantasia had on that long below the knee. I guarantee somebody was like, man, Fantasia.
Somebody know what it is. Huh?
So I just didn't think that an 8-hour funeral or 6. Wow, that was a lot. And we talking about one day. We ain't talking about the pre stuff that happened 2-3 days prior. You know,
Right,
she
like-
changed outfits four times.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. She had on the red shoes.
Yeah, she started on Thursday, right?
Right.
I think it was on
Or
Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday
I
started.
don't know what day,
Yeah.
but it was an ordeal. It was definitely an ordeal. So I think that, hey, there's only one Aretha Franklin. She is the queen.
The
Was
queen.
The queen. So, hey, if Aretha's people want to have or give her a 6-hour to 12-hour funeral,
They go
then
right ahead.
so be it.
Glory to God.
The only thing that I'm worried about is somebody just as famous as her, if they want to do a 7-hour funeral the next time, then the next one's going to be 8 hours.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
hey,
But
man,
if people tuning in, I guess.
Yeah. Because I think with the what was it, the Clark sisters? Who were that were singing?
Yeah.
Everybody
Clark
said that was really a great performance. I know everybody went in on Shaka Khan. I felt bad for her.
What about the lady that fell asleep, though?
somebody fell asleep. I missed that part. Which hour was that?
Come on now, you had
I
to
missed
see.
the
This is
hour.
all over Facebook, and bless her
Yeah, I
heart.
missed that one too.
You missed it too, so I don't feel bad.
She was knocked
Somebody
out,
was asleep.
mouth wide open.
On the stage.
No, in the audience.
Oh, okay.
But somebody,
They
you
put the
cannot do
camera on.
anything in this day and time
I would've
with
had a-
social media.
I
And it
would
was
have had a
off the
food
chain.
truck out front for everybody. Just
Take a
on
break.
a break. Just like
on
you
out.
Come on
Yeah,
out.
back.
y'all just come on out here.
Come on
Y'all
out.
just
Get
come
these
on.
these
Y'all
wines.
just come out.
Get these wines.
Red Bull probably would have been a great sponsor.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh, yeah.
To keep
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
up.
Right.
Keep them energized.
Yeah, keep them energized. So okay. So what about this right here? All right. All of us watched the Cosby Show back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
all
and
day, every day.
the actor, I think his character was Elvin. And
Elvin.
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
Elvin, right,
he was
right,
married. Or excuse me, he dated.
No, he was
He
married.
No,
They
he
married.
married.
Yeah, they were married,
Married
right.
Sandra.
Right,
Sandra, the
Sandra.
oldest,
Uh-huh.
The oldest daughter.
right? The oldest child, I think. If I'm,
Right.
Yeah, the
right.
oldest one.
Right. So and he was an actor, and honestly, up until this past week, I didn't even know where he was.
Same here.
But
So,
go ahead.
So I'm sure everybody saw this, but basically what happened, the actor, he was working at Trader Joe's, and this lady, I forgot her last name, but her first name is Karma. So she took a picture of him and posted it on social media and trying to job shame him because I guess allegedly she was trying to say, oh, look at this actor, he's working at Trader Joe's, which I don't think Trader Joe's is a bad place to work. It's a job, right? So she tried to job shame him, and it kind of took like a turn, a good turn. At first they were kind of talking bad, and then people came to his defense like, well, hey, at least he's working, he's a working actor. The man didn't do anything to anybody.
Right.
So I think that and then so fast forward to that, and I think I'm going too fast, but Tyler Perry saw the whole thing. Oh, so he went on the Today Show.
Right.
No, Good Morning America.
Yeah, Good Morning America.
He went on Good Morning America and just talked about it, just gave his take on it, and he said some great things. And Tyler Perry saw it and was like, "Hey, we want to get you in the have and have nots." He tweeted, and his name is Jeffrey Owens.
Right.
So Jeffrey said, I'm not even on Twitter. I didn't even know about this. So somebody saw it and shared that information with him, and I think allegedly he's signed up for 10 episodes for the haves and have-nots.
Awesome.
See how look at him.
That's awesome.
What the devil meant for
Right.
Hey,
Ooh-wee.
Praise
Come
break.
on.
Praise break.
What book is that? What book is that?
I think that's like
Romans?
third Corinthians.
Third?
Somewhere in 3 Corinthians.
You sure?
I
wrote it down. It's my phone.
It's somewhere in 3
I wrote it
Corinthians. I
down.
know it is.
Mhm. But so that I thought that whole thing, and it was crazy because it went so fast. Like it was just a picture of him, and then it just
Gone.
boom,
Gone.
like
Right. That's
thousands
social
of
media.
It's social media.
Right.
But
But
you
what
better
I-
say it again.
But what
It's
I was
social
surprised
media.
about, he was talking about, I didn't know how tough it was in the acting gig. I know you probably, you act and stuff like that, but I never really knew. He said since the Cosby Show, he's probably never had a gig that was more than 10 weeks long.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking like, man, that's awful. And then the other aspect I thought about too was after the whole Bill Cosby situation, all the I guess the syndication money ran out because they stopped showing the Cosby Show.
Oh,
so that
man.
means everybody stopped getting a check.
But it's back on though. It's
Is it?
on right now on TV One.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I watch it
Okay,
every
right.
single day.
Wow.
Well, not every day, but it's on. Yeah,
Right,
So,
right.
I think what happened, and this is,
But I'm pretty sure
fact check me.
it dried up a little
It
bit.
did drive.
up a
So,
little
so the
bit.
first time that I think when Bill Cosby went to trial, and when all this stuff had come out, that's when they took it off the first time. So then after he went back, after he went back again, I think they brought it back on. So now it's back up and running. I'm talking like I think BET and TV One are showing the Cosby Show, but it's on right now. Like today, I don't know if it's on at this moment, but it's back on. But yeah, but that did kind of dry up the residual. Once
Right.
that kind of
Right.
that stopped. But it's kind of messed up. But hey, I'm glad for him though, because
Yeah.
he's on top.
Tyler Perry saving everybody.
Oh, shoot, man, Tyler Perry doing it. Let's go to Atlanta, guys. Let's just take a trip.
Just take a
Let's
trip. Hey, Tyler, we just happen to be here. And
We're doing a podcast in Atlanta. Hey, why don't you come by?
We've been podcast shaming.
we've been podcasting. They don't like our podcast.
They don't like
We
us.
need to do more podcasts. And
That is funny.
okay, hold on. Wait a minute now. This weekend,
Mm-hmm.
this past weekend, right here in Memphis, Tennessee,
Right
Southern
here.
Heritage.
Ooh.
the absolute best weekend
Man.
in Memphis, Tennessee,
I'm gonna put my hat
hands
on
down.
one time.
The
I'm
annual,
going to,
right.
I'm going to just say it. My boss at work was like, "Oh, I guess you take it off." I was like, "Yes, y'all know, y'all already know. I'm off. I'll see y'all Tuesday." But this is Southern Heritage Classic weekend. For me, it ain't over.
It's not?
No,
It's
What
Sunday.
time is it?
I don't
still
know
going?
what y'all doing, but I'm getting ready to go kick it some more. It ain't over.
It's not over.
It ain't over till
Oh,
like
Lord.
next week. Really, I was starting to do a Southern Heritage Classic week.
Southern Heritage.
Suggs and Heritage.
It's about to be a 2-week long process around here. All right. So, but tell, John,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
what was your takeaway, or what were your takeaways? Or just tell me some of the stuff that you enjoyed. this week.
Man, the tailgating was off the chain.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. Every year we team up with the AKs and do a big tailgate.
Who's we?
I'm sorry, Alpha.
Oh, okay.
Alpha.
I didn't know. I was curious.
Yes, sir.
Who's we?
Alpha.
You said we. Like, who's we?
Yeah. Every year we Alphas team up with AKs to do this huge tailgate. And this year we had 6 tents in a row. It was just meant forever. One tent was dedicated to food, one tent was dedicated to drinks, and everybody else in between. We got music. We had Lawbreaker from TSU, DJ Zoom right here, and man, it was just huge.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing that I took away was DJ Lawbreaker called out the bros. You don't call out the bros and challenge us. So he was like, "I bet you I won't step in the rain." Looked like every alpha out there got in the rain and just started hopping.
Wow.
Like undergrad mode.
Wow. So
Right.
it was just the experience. It transcended the ages. It was anybody that was out there. Like, we were walking around and just people were like, "Hey, come get food, come get
Right,
drinks,
food,
and all that
drinks,
type
right,
of stuff."
right.
Gee,
It's like a reunion, man. I mean,
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
It's always like a family reunion. You don't see people, until next classic,
Yeah.
and it's always like a reunion, everybody's like family, you come up, give them a hug, and hey, how your mama and them doing, and
Right.
everything,
Right.
so.
Right. T. Reezy, did you get out there?
Oh my gosh. So let me my take on it. So
Okay.
I'm an alumni of the Jackson State University, Mississippi's Urban Comprehensive University. Tracy, will you stop that, please, sir? Stop the hating, please. Right. So, in addition to that, I'm also originally from Jackson, Mississippi. So, my
I didn't
thought
know
process,
that.
you know that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, man, born and raised.
Okay.
So, my take on the Southern Heritage Classic. So many of my friends and family members come up from Jackson to Memphis to partake in the Southern Heritage Classic, and I get so geeked every year around this weekend, around this time, because it's like my city is coming to my city that I'm in currently, which is
Right,
in Memphis.
right.
So, so this year, what we did, we tailgated, of course, some friends and I. I'm a member of the I'm a former member of the Sonic Boom of the South. I love the boom, and we always get together. Tracy, will you stop, please? Thank you. We always get together and we tailgate. So this year, I got Jabosco Holloway. He went out and got this big old tent. He had the DJ equipment. He had the food. So we all chipped in and put in on the money, put in on the stuff, and we tailgated. So looked at the weather. I saw that there was rain in the forecast. No big deal. Crystal and I, we go to Walmart. We get some rain suits, right? We put our bikes on the back of my car, and we drove. We parked, and we rode our bikes into the stadium because usually the traffic is bad. It's hard to get a park. Instead of sitting in traffic for an hour, just park far away and either walk in or ride your bike in.
Smart move.
So we rode our bikes in.
With Gabe?
No,
Oh,
Gabe did not
man.
go. We went out there Friday night to tailgate for a few minutes with Gabe, but Saturday, absolutely not. It was just us. It was kid free, right? So we go out there, we ride our bikes up. Everything was cool. We saw some friends. We saw Dwayne Kane Williams out there. We didn't get a chance to come to the Alpha tailgate this time because of the rain, of course. So we roll up. We out there. We tailgate. We're having a good time. We seeing people, like you said, like a reunion. Everybody is hanging out. We're having a good time. Then all of a sudden, I look up, and the sky turns dark. And after the darkness, it opened up. And what fell out of the open hole? Rain. Water. More rain. Now, keep in mind, we had our rain suits. No big deal. I expected that because I looked at the weather. The forecast said it was going to rain.
You had properly planned.
I was properly prepared.
Right.
I had on shoes that I didn't mind getting wet. I had on clothes that I didn't mind getting wet. Plus, we had a rain suit. Crystal even had her hair in a ponytail. You hear what I say? A ponytail. Because she knew that humidity was going to pufferize that hair. That's a word. Trademark.
That's a new word
Pufferize
right
is a word. It's a word, right? So,
That's a new word.
So the rain falls, so it's like, okay, cool. So it was about 5:30, the rain stopped. We were like, yes. So we go walk up to the stadium, and everybody is kind of like in the area up under the bleachers. So they weren't letting anybody in because of the lightning. So we like, okay. So we standing there. So an hour and a half go by. So we decided to go on back to the tailgate because the game was canceled. My soul was crushed.
It shouldn't have been crushed because that's the only way y'all would have won.
Are you serious?
But carry on.
Man, you
But
went to
carry
Grambling.
on.
You talking about, man, if you don't get away from here. So anyway, so it's like my emotions were like all over the place because I was super duper excited, and then I was immediately let down because of the rain, because the game did not take place. But I still had an awesome time hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my family. Got a chance to see some people that I hadn't seen in a while, but I didn't get a chance to see everybody. You look on Facebook and you see pictures. Oh man, so and so was there. So and so was there. I didn't get a chance to. I was going to go over to the 88.5 tent. Didn't make it over there because of the rain. Kind of slowed everything down. But we still had an awesome time. So, minus the game not happening, my takeaway was, just friends and family, just actually having a good time, just fellowshipping with everybody, because like John said, it only happens once a year. So I got to wait 364 more days now. It was 65. 364 more days before the Southern Heritage Classic comes around again. That's my takeaway.
TD from the Haven Block.
He doesn't have anything because he didn't go. You didn't go, did you?
I did. I took in the festivities of the weekend. Thank you very much.
Did you have a raincoat?
What I need a raincoat for? I'm Grambling. It don't rain on us.
Man, please. Rain on everybody. It's tsunami out there, boy.
But I'll say the whole weekend was great. It started off, I think Cynthia Daniels did a great job with, they had an alumni boat cruise with Belief Cigars, locally owned.
And that was Thursday.
That was Thursday. So
yeah.
Belief had a whole upper deck, really nice really nice event right there downtown on the river. Let's see, Friday was I attended the jazz show with Mike Phillips,
Okay.
with the Hidden Beats, and Stephanie Bolton. So that was a really nice show over at the Graceland House. So that was great, and a lot of the alumni were over there for that as well. The tailgate, I was definitely through there. I had to go out there. At first, it was a little bit warm. I was like, "Good Lord," trying to find my daughter out there, because she goes to Jackson State. She's getting disowned, but that's a different story.
She made the best choice in life. You should be proud of her.
We're gonna table that one. but like I said, but I was out there. It was sun shining. Then the bottom fell out. But everybody that ran under different tents, everybody was real inviting. Everybody was still having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
The music didn't stop.
Nope.
I mean, it was just great. I hate that the game got canceled because I know people just probably didn't tailgate, but they just wanted to go to the game, and that kind of ruined their plans. But I think overall, I think that Southern Heritage Classic doesn't owe me anything,
Right.
and I think that everybody that made it in town actually had a really good time because I think that Memphis really does. Roll out the welcome wagon for, people that are coming to visit. So I think it was a great event for the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite the game.
Yeah.
We-
Shout out to the Southern Heritage Classic.
Shout out
Yeah.
definitely to the committees of the Southern Heritage Classic. Definitely Fred Jones.
Absolutely.
He's been, the man to push that thing, and his vision has really grown since then. You mentioned,
And if he wants to grow it to a podcast next year, we'll be more than happy to be on set at the next Southern Heritage Classic.
Just have us a tent out there just in case.
right.
Just putting it in the atmosphere, as Mike would
Right.
say.
Yeah, just
putting
speaking
out
into
there.
existence.
Yeah, speaking into his. Hey, we have not because we ask not.
Correct.
We want sofas in our tent.
You
Let
mentioned,
our
and I'm gonna throw some shouts out here real quick. It's already 3:34. I know Mr. Corns probably got to head on up out of here in a minute. But I'm gonna do some shouts out. You said Cynthia Daniels,
Yes.
and Cynthia does some great stuff here in the city.
Yep.
One of the things that we've been wanting to do with the takeover ourselves is to put Memphis in a spotlight to where people who, not only people who live here, but people from around the country can say, hey, you know what, this city is a place to come. Now, obviously, the three of us and the people that's connected to us, we can't do it all alone. Cynthia does some great events here, just awesome. I would dare say at least 5 events that I could think of. Elixir, Mixology, I think it's
the Black Restaurant Week.
right. Oh yeah, Black. And now I'm seeing other cities that are doing.
That's her.
Right.
Yeah.
So, really?
Yes.
Yeah. So definitely want to shout her out. Part of what we do here is, we like to have people come to our stuff, but we love to support other people too and lift up what they're doing. We're just trying to make Memphis great again.
That's right. Make Memphis great.
We're gonna since they turn around all our stuff, we're gonna turn around their stuff for
Right.
a second. You know what I'm saying?
Make
So
Memphis
that's what we're
great
trying to do. We're gonna make Memphis great again and spotlight a lot of the people that's doing some stuff. John, I know you're connected to a lot of people and things here in the city that are, elevating the people and the venues and things like that. And you've done some great stuff in the past with Budget 7.
Shout out Brother 7.
Right.
Shout out.
Urban Hang.
Urban Hang and all the type of stuff. I still say y'all need to bring some stuff back. But we ain't gonna talk about that right here. I'm gonna just
Another
put that
topic.
into the atmosphere.
Another topic.
Can I mention something? On the horizon, got an old school party coming up.
Okay.
EU band.
EU.
Oh
EU
my God!
band.
From
Doing
school
the
days?
Go
School
go.
days.
Some go go.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
it was just dropped on me yesterday.
Okay.
Just dropped on me
look at
yesterday.
God.
Right.
So
That's why you here.
So
That's
let me
what you
ask this: will it be a pajama? No, sorry.
No, we can't do
I'm
that.
thinking school days. My
y'all,
bad.
we sure can't.
No pajamas.
At least not.
Because Tracy won't do right.
At least
Tracy-
not publicly.
And see, Mike, I don't think Tracy's pajamas are
Well, let me say,
Party
if we're gonna do,
ready.
if it does get to that, it needs protocols and
No,
standards.
don't do it. Don't do it. That was a joke. That was a joke.
We're gonna even
No
go.
PJs. No PJs.
But yeah, so great info. These are the type of things that we want to be on the lookout for, and we definitely want to lift them up. You know, obviously the things that we do coming up on the 28th of October.
27.
I've been getting this date wrong. I've been telling folks, I was like, I don't know.
27.
The 27th, excuse me, October 27th, we have our Halloween event.
The biggest Halloween party in the city of Memphis.
When I tell, and last night I was at a birthday party for my boy, Terrence Mariko Tunstall. Love you, Butt 50. When I tell people that I believe that our Halloween party is the best Halloween party in the city, and I'm not saying that because we're part of it. You know, I'm saying that because I think it's true, and you know, it's off the chain. And you look how we started it and where it is now, 6 years later.
6 years.
Shout out Miko.
6 years later.
Don't tget that started because she gonna try to call in. But yeah, 6 years later, here we are, and all we have to do is just give the date. That's
Just
it.
give the date.
Like you said, all you have to do is bring a pen,
And
no
a
money,
smile. And a smile.
and a smile.
Pen and a smile.
All you have to do is post the date, and it's done. I have so many people that woke up, and hey, this is it. Terrell and Chrysler, and now I guess Gabe, they always come in. They come in with some of the most unique and
Creative. Right.
Thank you, sir.
Costumes. Tracy initially was, you know, he was trying to be. Now Tracy is into the costume.
Tracy
thing.
is in. Hey, look, Tracy has surprised me these
He really
last
has.
2 years.
He really has.
The first time I think he just had on like a crown hat or something. Wasn't it? Did he?
Got all TaKeover T-shirt
And a
Takeover
crown
t-shirt,
hat.
a
Like,
mask.
it was a mask. That's
Yeah,
what it was, a
yeah,
mask.
yeah,
And I didn't even know what the mask was. I'm like, who are you supposed to be?
Right. Right.
But Tracy has gone above
and beyond.
Beyond the
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Yep. Yep.
Shout out to Tracy Davis,
Shout
everybody.
out. So
Needed some
and
noise
and I have
makers.
been working on my costume. I've been putting it much thought.
What do you have?
I don't know yet, but I'm gonna be in the mix this year.
Okay.
In some shape, form, or fashion.
there are people who have been working on their costumes for the past 2 months now, if
Mike
not
Suggs.
longer.
Mike Suggs.
If not longer. I've already had my idea. All I got to do is just go ahead and
Implement
do
it.
I talked to my sister, who is my costume coordinator, and we've been behind the scenes working on our stuff. So don't be upset when y'all see me looking live again. And no, it's not going to be Macula or Macula 2.0.
I couldn't wait till you stopped talking because I was going to bring that up. Immaculate 2.5. He was 2.0. So people that don't know. So let's see, what year was this? This was year 3 that you came as. No, that was the first year.
Yeah, first year.
The first year. So Mike Suggs came as Macula. If you don't know who Macula is, you were Macula, but you were a replica of Blackula, right? Which is the black vampire, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But yours was a Macula. So then you came.
You got to tell them why it's Macula, because
Okay, go ahead.
because I'm a Mac.
Because you are a Mac like macaroni.
No, I'm a
Not
Mac
like Mac.
Indie Streets Mac.
Oh, that kind of Mac. Okay.
So, but I transformed on that night into Macula because I was an Indie Streets Mackin vampire.
Oh,
The Mac and Vampire.
Right,
the Mac and
vampire.
Vampire. See, I didn't
when
know
you a
that.
Mac and you become a vampire, you cannot be a Mac and vampire. You have to become Macula.
That should be a movie, Vampire in Memphis.
Vampire in Memphis. All right, so
Mac
that
and vampire.
Right,
so
the
that was
Macula.
the first year. So then the next year, Mike decides to go to New Orleans, Louisiana,
Yeah.
and he went to there was a costume shop that he
No, it was a vampire.
a vampire shop.
A vampire shop. There's a vampire shop down there.
Come on, man.
Yes.
So New Orleans, they got to be authentic then.
It's
Like,
gotta be.
You know,
Oh,
but
I
all the
can't-
all
you
the
know what? I
videos.
should've brought it.
I should have brought it. I should have brought.
Bring it the next time, the next
bring-
podcast. We'll talk about this again.
I
We'll
paid
continue this.
top notch money for this cake.
The second cake, the second year. The first year was
It was-
the dollar store.
Oh.
This year, the first year he went to the dollar store and got a cake. The next year he said, "You know what? I'm gonna go get an authentic.
I'm gonna double the price.
I'm gonna double the price. It was velvet. It was a velvet cake. Bring it next time, Mike. Bring it next time. You
I'm
had a
gonna
velvet-
post it on the page.
I
John,
still got the picture. I posted.
you must John, I need you to really now. Look, now we don't play about this.
Oh, I know. I've been following, like I said, I've been following this event for years. And I know how you drop it down. You know, first you'll give a hint, or you'll tell somebody, you know what, be ready, get ready.
Right.
You know, build up the anticipation. So yeah, I know how you come.
Yeah. So now I don't know if you're going to be.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna dress up.
Okay. Good. Now you do not have to dress up. Okay. If you
Right.
it's not a prerequisite to dress up. It just makes it more funner. I know I just broke some English.
Whoa!
English,
Say that again. Say it again.
More funner when you
More
do that.
funner.
I know
So
this is
that,
SCS.
Is that two N's?
Right.
Is that FNNER?
It's two N's in there.
In there?
FUNNA.
Hey,
More funner. Like you know how you say
gosh.
finna. You know people out the south say finna. I say finna all the time. I type finna now.
You type that, it come up in
Right,
your
right,
text.
It isn't a prerequisite that you have a costume, but it's highly recommended.
Yes.
But it is just so much fun to see the rivalry between Mike and TK.
And Chris.
And
Chris.
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 I remember. I don't remember what costume you had on that time, Mike. And then Mike and Chrysler came in as TK and Chrysler came in as Ike and Tina.
Tina.
right.
That was
I remember that too.
Ike
I
and
remember
Tina
that too.
came
Yeah.
in late.
Yeah.
Ike
They
and Tina
killed
came
it.
cold.
And Mike was like, I can't believe this.
That was the year he had the cake. That was the year that was the first year he was immaculate. That was the first year.
But the rivalry
It goes
keeps going.
on.
I mean, if you've never experienced it, I think everybody will really enjoy it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely have to come out just to see that alone.
So I will say this: we got about 10 more minutes. So I will say this: I will give props to Mike and his costumage. The year that he was Django.
Now that was
That
hilarious.
was a very, very good costume. I was like, Mike put some thought into this costume thing this
Blank
year.
Man was good too.
Blank Man was
Blank Man.
funny.
Oh, yeah.
Blank Man was hilarious.
Blank-
But Django was
Yeah.
good. I had to
Yeah.
give him Django.
And here's the story behind Django. And real quick,
Okay.
my sister was like, Mike, let's just Google costumes for men with beards. And Django came up. And I was like, okay, we looked at it. And this is her thought process. She was like, Mike, that ain't nothing but the Austin Powers outfit with some adjustments. That Austin Powers blue
Right.
outfit
Yeah, I can see
with just
that.
a couple of adjustments. We
Uh-huh.
ordered the Austin Powers outfit offline. She came over to the crib. We made the adjustment. She took it home, and I went out and bought the little bag like he had on. I already had the shoes. You know I got many shoes.
Yeah.
And bam, and that's how it came up,
It was perfect.
just like that.
If
And
you
so-
had came in on a nag, oh, that would have been hilarious.
I could have come
You
in on the
coulda
nag.
come in on
I
the
coulda-
nag.
you know, at the time we had
That
the
would've
horse.
shut it
I could
down.
have come in on the nag. For real.
But you didn't.
But I
it's
did.
cool.
It's cool.
But it's cool.
I would have
All
needed a
right.
permit for that, but go ahead.
Yeah, you probably had to have like
Yeah.
some kind of permit to
Some
come
kind of
down
permit, right.
Florence Street on a horse. Yeah, that would have been funny. All right, guys. So I think we about out of time. We about out of time.
Yeah, we need to wrap this
So we
thing
gonna
on
wrap
up.
it on up.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is the TaKeOver podcast. This podcast is brought to you in part by,
John Corns Real Estate, affiliate broker with Jasco.
and you make sure you guys follow John Corns on all his social media sites. Is there a website?
The website is johncornsrealestate.com.
Y'all check that out. Type that in. And this podcast will be played again, so you guys can check it out if you were not tuning in live, and we will have it posted momentarily. Do you guys have anything else to
don't
say?
forget to look us up on as we continue. We will be on SoundCloud as well as iTunes. So
And what is the name, sir?
the TaKeOver podcast.
The TaKeOver podcast. Okay.
So no fancy stuff, no ad, dot, nothing like that. Just take on podcast.
just
and
take
So
over
I think so. What happens is I think I did a search the other day, And there is somebody else that has a TaKeOver podcast, some other people that have done one. But when you search it, there's an image that's going to come up. So our image will actually be our faces once we put that image on there.
We need to talk to who them that got that podcast. So we need to talk to them, bro. Meet me outside, bro.
I was looking for our old podcast, and when I typed in the TaKeOver podcast,
did you say old podcast?
Let's not bring up old stuff. Let's not bring up old stuff. I was looking for our old podcast, and I saw some other podcasts that said the TaKeOver podcast. But when you actually look at it, the images are right next to the name, so you'll know that these people are not us. But the ones that you want to search for are the ones that would be our image, and it'll probably be
we
a
need
cartoon.
to call Ghost and Tommy about that because
Ghost and Tommy. It is Sunday.
We need to call Ghost and Tommy about that.
Tommy. All we need is Tommy.
All we need is Tommy. That is crazy. All right, guys. So we're about to wrap this thing up. So make sure you all are following us on social media. It is The TaKeOver on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. It is TaKeOver TKO 901.
Correct.
I got it. And make sure you follow John Corns for John Corns Realty. Did I say that right?
Real estate.
Real estate.
Social media, you can follow me. Facebook, J Corns Real Estate. Instagram, same thing. Initial J Corns Real Estate.
Good deal, man, and we appreciate you so much, Mr.
Man, I appreciate
Corns.
you all, man.
I appreciate
For
you.
real.
I'm saying Mr. Corns, but like I said, I've known this guy for 25 years.
Yeah.
And
go way back, like
go
rocking
way
chairs.
Right.
Like rocking chairs.
Well, look, on behalf of Tracy Davis, Terrell Key, and myself, and all of the wonderful staff here that have made this thing happen, Brother John and my man
Carlos Brody.
Carlos CB.
Yeah.
CB.
Major shout out to them. Major shout out to
Yeah.
88.5 podcast as well.
Right.
88.5
Right.
podcast. So we are here and we are leaving. We are out. We are signing off. Is that it?
That be it.
That
We'll
be it.
holla.